What on earth is going on that motorway? Italy, a country known for some very, very nice exotic cars, some kind of cult cars, if you will, stuff like the old classic Fiat 595, Fiat 500, many of the Abarth cars, even the 124 Spider, and especially this thing, the nice, lovely, bright yellow, kind of banana-coloured Lamborghini Huracan. But we're not looking at any of these things today. In fact, what we're looking at today is this, the Ferrari Enzo from 2002. Now, this thing has 650 horsepower stock, 484 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs just over 3,000, so it's a little on the heavy side. It also has basically a 6-litre engine. It says here 5.998, but rounded up, that would be considered a 6-litre engine. So we're going to go ahead and load into that and go and drive it stock for a little bit to go and see how it handles. So here we are with the car stock. It's rear-wheel drive. Honestly, sounds pretty good. In fact, here, have a listen to this thing stock. Not too bad at all. But the next thing that we need to go figure out is just how well this thing can drive when it's upgraded, and also what upgrades are available. And for that requires us to go into the Horizon Festival to go and see what we can do to this thing. So let's go ahead and go there now. So here we are now at the upgrade shop, everybody's favourite I'm sure. So the first thing that we all probably want to find out is what engine swaps you can put in this thing. So like usual, over to conversion and engine swap, and we have the one option, and it's a racing V12. Okay, well, although while it's not the worst, it's certainly not the best. I was kind of hoping for, say, a more modern Ferrari engine, unless this V12 is from a modern Ferrari. Although I don't really know my engine swaps in this game too well, so somebody in the comments, please do go ahead and let me know where this engine is from. But we're going to stick with the stock engine for now, and we're also going to make this thing all-wheel drive for our first build, which is always a drag build. And of course, you know I've got to make this thing twin-turboed. As for the aero, we've got nothing but the Forza front bumper and the Forza rear wing, both of which honestly really do not suit this car in the slightest. But I guess next, the main thing that we've got to do is go over to the little paint shop and go and see what sort of manufacturer paints are there, and indeed if there are any advanced paint groups. Okay, so here we are now at the paint shop, and let's go ahead and see. Sadly, no advanced paint options for the body of the car, which is honestly a bit of a shame. Now, let's go to the main body of the car. We've got a whole heap of manufacturer colours here, so I'm just going to go through these from the red to another red, to a nice orange, to a yellow, to another yellow, to a really, really, really nice deep blue, which I absolutely adore this colour. It looks beautiful. We've got a black, a kind of bluey silver kind of colour, kind of a grey. And then we've got this nice light blue here. We've got this, which is marketed as a silver. We've got this white and, well, whatever you really call this kind of colour. But honestly, I'm more partial to having it in this nice light blue. Moving on to the rims, we have a few advanced painting options. For example, paint group number 1 is this little bit on the main rim, and paint group number 2 is kind of an interesting one, because you see right down here next to the center hubcap, yep, we can paint that into different colours, and if you wanted to, you could even make it bright pink. I don't know why you would, but you can. But next thing we've got to do though is first I'm going to go ahead and load a paint and a tune onto this thing, and then we're going to go and see how it handles the drag strip. So here we are now at the drag strip with the stock engine, so let's go ahead and line ourselves up, and let's see, can we brake boost the stock engine? Yes, indeedy we can. So we don't need to wait for lights, so let's go ahead and just floor it and go and see what we can do along here. Hopefully getting a nice little speed through the camera down here. There we go, 178. Not too bad, but now we've got to go and see what the V12 can do. Okay, so here we are now with the racing V12. So like usual, we'll go ahead, brake boost this one as well. Let's go and see. Oh, it does not sound good. Right, like usual, don't need to wait for lights. Let's just go ahead and floor it. Really not that good off the line, sadly, but it is certainly anything very, very quick. 178 again through the camera. Both engines are matching speed through there. There's one that's not quicker than the other, and one's not quicker than the other one, which is kind of intriguing. But now we've got to go and see just how those engines compare by going down to the motorway. But before we do that, firstly we have the Autumn Forzathon shot for the week. Over here we've got the 2012 Cadillac Escalade ESV, which is a very nice but very heavy car. And down here to our bottom right, we have a Forza Edition car, which is the first time that we've seen an FE car in the Forzathon shop for quite a while. This one is the 2015 Illumicraft Class 10 race car Forza Edition, which is honestly pretty nice. Then we have our remote over here, and a golden cap should you wish to have one. Then over here we've got our normal wheel spins and our supers, placed at 100 Forzathon points and 300 points respectively. So next up, we're just going to go ahead, throw the road tune onto the Enzo and go and take it to the motorway to go and see what speed it can do. Okay, so now we're here just before the motorway with our first engine tune, which is the stock engine making 1,180 horsepower. What on earth is going on that motorway? Oh well, across the roundabout we go, and onto the actual motorway itself. So let's go ahead and floor it through here, and I want to see what top speed this thing can do. With Forza Aero, I believe it's only limited to something like 250, which for this car really isn't enough to prove how good this car is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you have a listen to this thing in the tunnel. There we go, beautiful. So now out of the tunnel, 268. Can we get to 270? Well, not quite, sadly. I have a feeling that with a little bit more straight road and a little bit more of a downhill section, this thing probably could have done it, but sadly we just did not have enough motorway space. However, we've got the V12 tune up next, so let's go ahead and see what we can do with that, and just how quick it can go, and whether it can beat 268. Okay, so here we are now with the V12. This is the racing V12 and it sounds absolutely awful, so I do apologise for anybody who's probably lost some eardrums to this video. This is due to Forza's fault for their engine sounds, and you cannot sue me for it. Anyway, here we go again with trying to see what speed we can get. Hopefully we can beat 268. So let's go ahead and make our way through here, try and dodge every single car in sight, hopefully. And let's go see. Anyway, here's the tunnel, so have a listen to this. There we go. That's 265, and that was 260 truck, sadly. It's the only thing about recording these is having to deal with AI traffic. Twice, apparently. Right, so now we are back with take what feels like 4,000. We've got the V12, which honestly, yeah, it doesn't really go too well. We got to 265, had to deal with a lot of traffic, and then a concrete barrier. So something tells me the V12 isn't the tune to use. But now we've got to go and find out how this thing can drift. Hopefully it can drift better than it drives. So, to the Horizon Festival we go. Okay, so here we are now at the Horizon Festival. I've gone ahead and loaded the original tune back onto this thing with the road tune. So let's go and see if this thing can drift. Honestly, I don't know if it can or not, but there's only one real way to find out. And that is by doing what we're doing right now, which is giving it a drift run. 40,000 on the first run isn't too bad, and as we all know, my drift tunes always get 2 runs per engine. So this will have its second run in a minute, and then we'll also have the V12 make a couple of runs and see, well, just what tune comes out on top. So here we are going into the second run. Let's go ahead and I think I might have chucked it in there a little bit too early, or a bit too much, but there is 40,000 again. So yeah, that is 40,000 both times for the stock engine. Next up will be the V12 drift tune. Okay, so here we are now with the V12, so let's go ahead, throw this thing into here and see if we can beat 40,000 points. Well, to be fair, if this thing keeps doing this, it is really not going to do it. Only a measly 32,000, which is still not bad for the drift zone itself, but for the V12 I honestly thought it could have done a bit better. But the only thing that I do see is just, well, yeah, this thing. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, take number 2, let's go ahead and throw this thing in here and see if See if we can beat 40,000. Which we might just be able to. Nope, that's 40,000 as well. Both of these tunes got 40,000. So I guess, hey, at least it is consistent. So I guess if you want a car that does 40,000 points multiple times, then this is the Ferrari for you. And honestly, it is a really, really nice looking car, and I kind of like it. But we've gone through everything we need to do this, so that is probably where I'm going to go ahead and leave this video. So, closing thoughts on this car, it is honestly a very nice car indeed. The Ferrari Enzo has always been a very nice fancy car in real life and in video game form, and it honestly looks really, really nice. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and get this thing, you can get this from the Series 39 Autumn Championship, known as the Autumn Developers Championship, which is 3 custom tracks as opposed to 3 normal Forza tracks. And honestly, I kind of prefer having the custom tracks because it's a lot more fun and a lot more challenging. So yeah, if you like this kind of video, do go ahead and let me know with a like, because it lets me know you like it and that you want to see more stuff like this in the future. So if you're new here, feel free to go ahead and press subscribe and turn the notifications bell to all so you never miss an upload. I try and upload twice a week, so that is 2 videos for you all to enjoy. And yeah, also feel free to go ahead and post a comment. I love to read them and I try to apply it to as many as I possibly can. But I think that is probably going to be it from me and this fantastic Ferrari and a drifting Apollo, which seems to be alongside me. Hello, goodbye. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and a goodbye. What is that Apollo doing?